open this nice blackberry ginger ale, but go ahead and drink that throughout the entire thing before we get started on the battle of Eagle and Lion. But I think we have one more. Ah, that's the color that it looks like. Good to know. There we go. No, wait. No, this way. There we go. No, wait. No, it would be... No? That way? There we go. It kind of tastes like one of those... I don't know if you know the strength, but is he? Kind of tastes like that. So we could do this paralog. However, I can't bring Shamir into the next mission battle, so I don't feel like doing this now. So we're just gonna do an additional auxiliary battle instead. It tastes really good. If you're not like a huge fan of ginger ale, I do recommend trying it. Especially if you like, I think it's a blackberry Izzy. Right. Okay, hang on. We need to figure out. I want the squad that I'm taking into the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking all these people. Cool. And then... let's have like Cynthia get in there, and then... You know what? Let's just have us go against relic users. Okay, and then... You can Adjutant Hubert. Astrid Adjutant, theoretically. Okay, and then... It wouldn't hurt to have a healer. Could bring Marianne. Or... Hang on. Supports. Okay. You don't have yours with Ash, so let's have Ash adjunct you then, Petra. Okay, and now... Still means now, I think I'm gonna have Yuri adjutant you. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Okay, Matt. Now I'm a believer. There we go. That should work out for now. Save and then let's fight. Cool. Oh, I forgot it was like this.
I will prevail.
I'm sure you will. Do it. It's your speed,
Your
I
defeat
think,
was inevitable.
affects doubling.
It's a long road yet.
Cool.
As you wish.
I can't do anything, so we're just gonna have to go this way then.
Leave it to me.
Combat arts. Interesting. But no, we're gonna just wait.
Sally forth!
How many are you? You're gonna attack by two, but two. I can only attack that one. I want to save. Now we're gonna wait.
Let me at him.
I guess that then.
Strong enough?
Nice!
Oh! Couldn't weather the storm, huh?
Apparently not.
Stay focused.
Hello, I'm over here.
That's my cue.
You know what? Let's have you use Agitate.
I will get the victory.
Fine. If only so that way Balthus doesn't get attacked by like 3.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
You most certainly are. Oh right, you have Stride.
Battle?
Well, who do I need to assist? Oh, I can warp. Maybe later. Forgot he has warp.
I shall rise, but your day is past.
Nice. Oh, she's happy. I guess it's dark enough.
Chewie! Ready to bleed?
Nice! Pulp this again with the crit. Oh,
You're fresh out of luck.
that was my bad. Forgot to turn off the audio.
Wait for my next brawl.
Oh, I was expecting to crit again. Come on, Yuri. You're like Yuri's Nice. I really did. That was fun. Please miss.
Pardon?
Nice. Oh! He has a 9 that heals himself. Okay. Do it.
As expected.
Nice.
Such power dwells within.
It doesn't need. Yeah, unarmed.
Even stronger than I look, yeah?
Gambit, Stride.
Appreciated.
Attack. Do it.
Of course I won.
Nice. No, you can't get to her. Okay. Guess we're doing Steel Axe. Nice.
Failure is not an option.
I mean, it is always an option, Aelgard. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Nice. Nice, he'll get
I've
used.
been practicing that one.
Nice, be flying.
It is still far from enough.
I am gonna want to change that. Honestly, let's just go that way. Great. Well, that begs the question now, doesn't it? I can combat her. Do it. Nice.
Witness frigid pride.
That can go to the convoy. Assist, busy. Dorothea.
Sweet of you.
Yes, it is. Nice.
I guess I have to.
Wow, unnecessary crit.
Must be awful losing to me.
Probably a good thing. Alright. Get that. Let's have you attack with the sword. You don't get doubled. Okay. I guess your strength is
Winning's
weak.
always nice.
I'll increase your strength. Healing, I guess.
Delightful.
Steel sword. There's no way I was missing
That is that.
Okay. That. You know what?
As you wish.
Nope. We're ignoring that.
I will prevail.
Don't be so sure of yourself.
Sally forth.
So I could probably heal you. And then
Well done.
no, I don't
Yeah.
want it. Unarmed, I guess.
Couldn't weather the storm, huh?
Doesn't look like it.
I will get the victory.
Get that victory. Warning shot, then fire. Ooh.
Fearless, as usual.
Careless or fearless?
Close call.
At least you're no coward.
Well, guess we're not entirely wrong. Nice.
Too weak.
You're done.
Seriously?
It's good to be king.
Nice. And they both leveled up for that.
All that blood and sweat was worth it.
Now that feels good.
Sure it does.
Battle?
Yes, I can warp him. Nice.
It's simple logic.
Do I have an arms flare? Yeah, use that. Nice.
My heart is full of victory.
Ooh, nice, Ash.
Is this a joke? I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
No. And I'm gonna have you fall back. Might as well. Sure. I'm just gonna have her head back.
I owe you.
And then
Stay focused.
that way.
That's my cue.
Assist. Might as well.
Thank you.
Right, I have those two left.
Leave it to me.
Okay, I will. Oh, it's fine. Why not?
Keep that off.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Your defeat was inevitable. You will be slapped down.
Nice.
One more success.
Oh, they went after her. Fudge.
War feeds my body and mind.
Am I out? I am. Okay. You didn't think that through. Okay, no surprise. Those tea parties, they'll gain charm, keep your guests happy, and they will stay as long as you like. Alright. I'm extremely sore. Nice. Right, sure. Oh, my Mercedes.
This is my absolute favorite. How did you know, Professor?
I didn't? You just saw him
This
after
is
joining.
nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day.
I'm glad. Oh, Mercedes didn't have motivation. Cool. Good to know. Any other... No, let's check supports. Dorothea and Petra. This will be new.
Dorothea, I want to be asking you a question.
Okay.
Oh, please do. Why have you come to Garreg Mach? Is your goal different from the rest?
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I suppose. Everyone here is an heir or an heiress, but not me. I'm just a commoner.
You keep saying that. You're just a commoner.
When I enrolled in the Officers' Academy, I was different than everyone else. I wanted to secure my future, and my big idea was to marry money.
Interesting.
Ever since, I've been dating different, terribly well-to-do men, searching for a good one.
Ah,
So far, there's been no reason for a second date.
interesting.
Marrying money? That is not sounding like a good idea. Money would be a bad husband.
Oh, she doesn't understand.
Pretty much.
But you treat me well. I have so much gratitude. Why do you show me such friendliness when I am not money?
Oh, no, Petra. This isn't like that. I like spending time with friends.
Oh.
It's wonderful being friends with you. And I hope we can stay close for a long time to come.
Oh,
Yes, I have that hope too.
so do I.
But I have also been thinking of who is good for me.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Is it Caspar? Please tell me it's Caspar.
And still I am thinking we should be friends.
Oh, I know why. Because we're both trouble for Imperial nobility.
Yes, we both have troubles.
Feels nice, doesn't it? Knowing that together we can irritate that many people. Since we've already got a lot in common, let's get to know each other better, shall we?
I love it. For Color Mayhem. Right, and then Petra and Ash. Okay.
Ash, I need to give you more gratitude for the commoner techniques you showed me.
Oh,
Commoner techniques? Oh, you mean when I haggled for you?
yes.
Yes, it has made for many savings. I was telling the professor, we both are so happy.
Really, it wasn't a big deal, but I'm glad the professor was pleased.
After all,
Hmm.
you don't get. People don't get.
What is it? Do I have something on my face?
For a lot of time, I was living in the Imperial capital. Then I came here, to the monastery. Both places contain many nobles, and many chances to be learning noble customs.
That's true. When you're surrounded by new people, you naturally pick up all kinds of stuff. Though with nobles, there's a lot to learn. All the etiquette is overwhelming. Not to mention the dancing. I just keep stepping on my partner's feet.
In Fodlan, the nobles are training for dancing since their youth. They have much skill.
When I was a kid, I spent most of my time helping out at my parents' restaurant and playing with my brother and sister. Back then, I never dreamed I'd ever be studying at a proper academy with all these nobles.
I have learned many customs of the nobles, but few of the commoners. I am hoping you will teach me. Techniques, secret skills, anything. All of the things.
Secret skills? I don't think I know anything that fancy.
That is not the truth. The technique for money saving could be helpful even for nobles. It has use for all the world.
I don't know about that. Really, I don't have any special secrets.
Or something.
Commoner wisdom is only to be shared with commoners, then? I have understanding. Forbidden knowledge.
Forbidden
Ash.
knowledge.
How about we make a bargain? We can be trading information. In Brigid, powerful curse techniques are passed down. And we can speak with the spirits. I can be teaching you these things.
What? Curses? No. I don't need any dangerous information like that. But if you really insist, I guess I could teach you a few things about what life is like on the streets.
I'm trying to. I'm just. Guess it's not. Sorry, I thought I saw something. Maybe I did deal with it and then I just tricked myself. Anyway,
Would that be enough?
I forgot how
You will be
much
showing me
Ash
the
doesn't
secret
like
techniques?
ghosts.
I cannot be waiting!
That's not what I meant.
Right, then Ignatz and oh, Shamir. Cool.
Whew. Today's training was murder. Ah, Shamir, I have a question for you.
Silence.
Shamir?
Nothing.
Oh, I suppose she's meditating or something.
Or
Never
something.
mind then, I guess.
Where are you going?
Shamir!
Don't you have a question?
Yes.
No, it's not important.
Just speak your mind.
I'm finished meditating. Speak.
No, it's not. You're probably tired anyway.
Oh, Ignatz.
Always be willing to speak and ask questions. Understood?
Oh.
Yes,
the point.
understood. I'll remember that for next time.
Good.
Next time.
Yes, I'm okay for today. Sorry to disturb you. I'll be leaving now.
All right.
Why must he be so difficult?
Yep. Good question. That it for sports? No, Balthus and Yuri. Actually, I'm gonna save that. Do I have any besides that? How was likely? No, that is an extremely low chance. We're not there with heavy armor yet. No, it's yeah, warrior. You need A. Oh, okay. Oh, right. There we go. Sorry about that, just realized do something. Right. Not gonna lie. I want to make him a grappler. Can you... How likely are you to pass sniper? Not very good. Okay. Don't really care if you don't get it to warlock. Well, looks like nothing. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's just go straight into the mission. Whee!
Gronder Field is in the Empire. It's actually part of my family's territory, House Burgley's.
Nice.
It is the largest field in all of Fodlan. The grain it produces sustains the whole Empire.
Nice.
Wait, I sure hope we don't destroy all that grain.
It is
Probably
considered the
not.
most suitable place for a large-scale battle.
Really? Good to know.
Professor, if it were up to you, how would you approach this battle?
I was surprised them with clever schemes.
That sounds like a certain someone we both know. But as you wish, we'll use whatever strategy you think is best.
You mean like Claude?
If the Black Eagle House bands together, we won't lose.
Cool.
Our strength is superior. So if we do lose, it will be on your shoulders, Professor.
Great. Good to know.
If you are not confident you can do this, just sit back and leave it to me. The most you will do is make things worse. You'll just get in Lady Edelgard's way.
Wow.
Are you two about to fight? Oh, count me in! Wait, no, I think we all need to calm down.
We have no lack of opponents. I am ready to go hunting for our enemies.
Cool.
Hunting isn't exactly... Well, I guess they're pretty similar, actually.
I'm just gonna hide in the fort and cheer everyone on. There, is a fort, right?
Yes.
Sure, but it's deep in enemy territory. How kind of you to offer to cut through for us.
What? No, that's not what I meant! Good work, Bernie.
This will
Don't
be your
worry,
first
Bernie.
battle,
You're
won't it,
going to
Flame?
sit out
You don't
battle.
seem nervous at all.
I shall give it my all.
Actually, Flame, you're gonna sit on the sidelines.
Our battle will begin
So
shortly.
Bernadette.
The flag of the Black Eagles will soon grace Gronder Field.
Okay. Right. Yes. And then right. Yes, I would. Okay. Who should I change ashes to? Honestly, wouldn't be too bad if I did. Ashes. I mean, yeah. Ash, what are sports again? Cool. I guess Petra, maybe. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can go. Yeah, you guys can go that way. Linhart. No, wait, I want you. No, wait. Ah! Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. That should work for now. Alright.
Welcome!
Repair. I think I'm good for now. Oh, wait, hang on.
Come back soon!
Let's manage inventory. Should I take a break? There's another weapon sword. Actually, I'm gonna give that to Dorothea. And I'm going to give myself the brave sword. Axes. Cool. Take the killer axe. And then you don't have a mace, which is a problem. Hang on. Alright, you're good. Let's have you take that level sword. Good, you got the healing staff. Good, we're good for you. Mace, iron axe. Hubert, you're good. Honestly, we can store that torch. Caspar, you're good. You know what? Honestly, let's just have you. No, I just stored the brave axe. That's not what I meant. Equip. There we go. Cool. Now.
Welcome!
Buy. I'd like to buy Edelgard. You know what? Let's buy her a
Is
hammer.
that the one? Thanks a bunch.
There we go. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to buy. Cool.
Come back.
I'm actually gonna have you equip that 11th sword. Right, and then combat arts. No. Smite? I'm sorry, what's that do? Yeah, no. I don't want that. Wrath Strike, a powerful sword attack. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna trade for beta monsters right now. No, that must be enough. Right. Cool. And then, no, it's no, abilities. That's what I want. Trade for alert stance. Yeah, I don't really need steel. Actually, rally strength could be really useful. This fair unarmed heal. Cool. Wow, I have yet to get anything from it. Hang on, what does steel speed do? Oh, that's not very helpful. Right. Cool. I think I'm good right now, so. Right, let's save. And let's fight. Hang on, battalions.
Welcome!
Replenish. Yeah.
Come back soon!
Okay, and then inventory battalions. So, yeah, no, she can't take his stride. Is there... Not to be that person, but is there... any? That would give me the soul truth. But that's kind of her own, so... I don't know. Cool. There we go, and then let's fight. Not the enemy. All your allies fall in battle.
The battle of the Eagle and Lion is set to begin at long last. Everyone, show off the results of your dedicated training.
Will do!
Remember, we're not just fighting for honor. There's a prize at stake.
I think he's in the lore class, isn't he?
It's almost time to begin. Steel yourselves, everyone.
Will do. Ooh, I love this cutscene.
You all should know, I am not about to go easy on you today.
Okay, this scene shows how different the leaders are.
As long as we can pull off the win,
in this
doesn't matter how.
Our victory must be absolute, no matter what it may take.
It is time.
Forward, now!
For honor!
It's all blurred, so you can't tell what side is what. Ew.
The ballista in the center of the battlefield. The house that secures it will have a clear advantage.
Cool. earn a reward if you defeat more enemies than other classes. Hurry up and defeat the enemies before the other classes start fighting each other. Bum, bum, bum. Right, there's Hilda, there's Leone, there's Raphael. Hang on, it's X. What? Yeah, you are in the Lord class. Okay, thought so. Then here we have Annette. We have Dune, Sylvain, Felix, Ingrid. Are you also in the Lord? You are. Okay. Cool. Right. I have a plan. No, I'm gonna stride ourselves after.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
You are.
Let me at him.
The sun.
There you go. Or someone's gonna attack her though, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Can they take out those Pegasus? I don't know. Everyone's just hang on. Or I could get you there.
Stay focused.
I will.
As you wish.
I do. Do not draw back.
I will get the victory.
That's my cue.
It's fine.
Leave it to me.
Wait, hang on. What's that Melissa do? I need the ballista. Cool. Cool. That's not helpful, but...
I will prevail.
Let's just go up straight up there. Then I'll warp someone next round. Shoot, this how she's not silenced now. Nice! She's doubling!
Wow, how was that?
Good!
I must get stronger.
Okay.
Black Eagles and Blue Lions are fighting. Maybe we can sneak right past them.
Interesting. Cool.
Too weak.
Nice. Interesting how yours holds the sword like this. Come on. There we go. Go for Birdie. Nice.
You should be honored.
Oh, okay. Never mind, this I'm not gonna destroy yet.
Only a fool challenges me.
Good to know. Attack. There we go.
This brings me no joy.
Nice! Crit!
I sped a weakling to their demise.
Move forward. Great. Okay. Now then. No, I want you to go. You know what? Equip the hammer. You know what? Why not?
No hesitation.
Nice! Wish you had crit before, but oh well.
Should I have held back?
No.
You're in good form.
And you're going for her. Cool. I need you to equip the bow. Four. There we go. I'm gonna heal you.
How sweet.
Then. No. Cool. Well, I'm gonna lure them out. With fire. Come on. No! That's not good. Nice!
Now you know your limits.
Okay. Oh, shoot. I've been good, I feel, for that.
Who told you to jump out there? Now we've got no choice. Capture the central hill.
Okay, I think he says have a different Lorenz, is there? So I think it's Lorenz that ends up coming towards the hill. Good, picking you.
Thanks so much.
Non-armor slayer, we don't need that. Steel sword.
My heart is full of victory.
Good. Vixen Soaring Convoy. Move. Right. Steel sword. Okay. Sis, I need you to heal. Constant.
So sorry.
Good, now. You're so slow. I'll figure out what to do with you in a bit. Finish that one off. There we
You
go.
were outmatched.
I could finish that one off. No, those two ladies have it. You come up here. Wow, you are... Okay. She might kill you. So if I move back... Please work. No, I think
You were wide open.
main issue is Dorothea. Yeah, I don't want to take any more damage right now, so...
May my foes someday forgive me. Doubtless, this is a temporary game.
Most likely. No, you'll just follow me completely. Cool. Net and Leone, this isn't very good. Yep. Yep.
Damn it! Not here. I can't quit now.
And Leone, no, Leone might not go down. I don't think I could have done it. No matter what, I was going to fall against her. Leone healed. Okay.
Adorable.
Okay, Yuri. Ooh. Nice, and I have
Predictable.
Chalice. So I'm good. Crit.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
Alright. Finish her. Yeah, Fernand, you can. Seriously, you can't? Damn it, give you a short axe! That's annoying. It's fine. Fine! If I lose my healer, I'll just find pulls. Right, can I get you to... I can! You know what? Just because. Let's use it. Bye, Hilda!
You're stronger than I look, yeah?
You know what, actually? Let's have you wait. Who's going after me? I don't even know. Yeah, wait, and then Dora, and then Lysakia can bring you over here. Oh, bye, Leonie. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Fudge. What's the modest? High level as I thought I was. Yep. Come on. I need stride like now.
Your defeat was inevitable.
Fine net.
I have an idea.
Can't hit us. If you did, I'd be very surprised. No! They finished to do! Well, almost. Okay. Can you hit anyone? Yes, you can. Great. By Meyer, then. Finish Raphael, I guess. Yes! There we go.
This is what I do.
Let's finish that one off. Can I get over to you to stride? No. Cool. I'm just gonna have you. What have the higher crit? Might as well almost. Yeah, you're not. I'm trying to make you a great knight, and you're not helping your case. Use fire.
I won? That can't be right.
There we go. No. Cool. Just gonna have you move to the bushes. Yep, you're coming that way. Right, now... You know what? We're going. Can I assist? Can I physic anyone?
Battle.
No. That was a waste of the divine rules. Oh,
Stay
well.
focused. I will prevail.
Use the bomb, Mary.
Let's do it. Now.
Wow. Okay. Yep, bye.
Watch and learn. Easy.
Really? Yeah. You missed. Okay. Oh shoot, I have feelings. I'll finish him here. I want to finish him. Shoot, that's running low. Great. Can I get to Felix? Sword of the Creator I could, but I don't know. I need to save it.
As you wish.
There we go. Finally, someone can do something.
Hardly worth my time. This is harder than expected.
Leave it to me.
I will.
You underestimated me.
Cool.
There's still a long way to go.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
You most certainly are.
Let me at him.
Claude is going to attack me. Combat arts. Okay, what about without eviscerate? I still can? Let's do it then.
You're fresh out of luck.
So you're going to come and shoot at me.
The sun.
That dude Claw's gonna come and shoot at me. Head in the back. Back straight. For confidence.
Apologies.
Can I attack anyone now?
I will get the victory.
I could do it. And then... Okay, physics. My bow.
For me?
Oh. No, we're getting Killer Axe. And then, hopefully Felix will... No! They're going after... Okay. Hang on. So if I go this way... Good.
So, it is time to cross blades. I never imagined such a day would come to pass.
Really?
If the Empire and the Kingdom go to war, we'll be able to fight as much as we please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why would you joke about such a thing like that, Edelgard?
I'm sorry, but that is not something to joke about. The thought of fighting you is troubling at best.
In
At
that
best.
case, I wonder when you'll be able to stomach facing me in battle. Do you need a few moments?
Wow.
Time is now.
Missed.
Let's try our plan.
Then that was no miss as well. That did manage to hit. Okay. Oh, you are no. Cool. You have a longbow. That's not good.
Too weak.
Too weak. Okay. Yeah, let's attack with the steel sword. Nice.
Should I have held back?
Maybe. No, I can't. Oh well.
Well
I'll
done.
heal Raven then. Yeah, we don't need the pill. Let's hit them with death.
For Lady Edelgard.
Who are you going? You're going to go for Constance. Wait, and then let's have you heal.
Thanks, pal.
Let's go. Let's have you equip that. Yeah, I may have to. Is there anything that's gonna kill you? Guess we're doing that.
fear I cannot fight any longer. I'm sorry, everyone. Please continue onward to victory!
Oh shoot, the chest though. Well, I might be able to get it with Petra. You're gonna kill Claude.
The shame of defeat.
Oh, never mind.
It's more than I can bear. I'll
You
just
one-shot ya.
crawl under a rock now.
You one-shotted ya. There we go.
A great help.
Okay, you can hit. That has a higher hit chance. There we go.
Failure is not an option.
Cool. So, but if I do you, time to pull back. Shoot.
Let me at him.
Yeah, definitely want Baltic too. Go away.
Leave it to me.
Okay, by Cynthia.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
There we go.
As you wish.
I don't. Right, we're going to have you. Yeah, we're going to equip miasma to you. And I'm hoping you won't kill Claw.
No time like the present.
Okay, he's gonna use advantage. Oh, that pushed him further away. Thank you.
I will prevail.
I will get the victory.
You can. Yes, you can open it. Cool. Killer Lance. Convoy. You can't use it anyway, so. Let's have you. Yes, but.
Battle.
That. Hang on. He can now move! This is wonderful.
I thank you.
You know what? Let's have. Let's have Hubert do it. Sorry, Claude.
I hate to say it, but it seems we're at a stalemate. Looks like the Golden Deer won't be winning this round.
Nope.
That is the end of this year's Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
Who
And
could
the
have
winners
guessed?
are
Not me.
the Black Eagles.
Thank you for your hard work, everyone.
Well, such a
I dare say that prize is as good as ours.
Nice. Nice. Well done, Edelgard. You can use the convoy at any time.
Edelgard, Professor, that was a spectacular battle. You both fought exceptionally well.
Good, I'm glad.
Complete and utter defeat. I would hate to make an enemy of you two.
No need to get carried away with praise. I know you both feel we won by a paper-thin margin.
Wow.
And I won't deny it. If we were to fight again, there's no telling who would prevail.
Yep.
What do you think, Professor?
The Golden Deer House was very strong. Because Golden Deer House is the best.
I'm honored. And I'll level with you. I think that margin is at least as wide as 2 sheets of paper. I mean that.
Wow.
In any case, I hope the day never comes when we have to put this experience to use.
Yes.
Agreed. I would hate to know a future in which I'm forced to cross swords with you.
True, although the Battle of the Eagle and Lion was originally named after a war between the Empire and the Kingdom. But that's all in the past. I'm sure even the name will one day fade from the pages of history.
A little bit different from the Golden Deer, because it'll go like, I wouldn't mind fighting you guys. Let's do our best to get along.
How admirable, Teach. On that note, I have a proposition. When we get back to Garrigmach, let's have a grand feast to break down the walls between our respective houses. And by a grand feast, I mean a fairly regular feast in the dining hall.
Classic Claude.
It would be a fine opportunity to get to know each other better. Count me in.
So be it. Let's plan to meet up on the night we return. Is that okay with you, Professor?
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Seeing such a big smile on your face is a rare gift. It makes me feel like I can maybe relax a little too.
Claude just has my heart. Like, he totally stole it. Like, he's not gonna give it back.
It's finally over. There are way too many strangers at that feast.
Put your chin high, Bernie. It was a chance for you to have growth.
True.
But everyone was acting so friendly. It was overwhelming.
Linhardt, I wasn't done talking to you.
Oh.
If those Alliance guys came at it from here, and
Really?
those Kingdom guys came from there...
You're talking about this again?
I know. We'd have been able to take them out all at once. I heard you. I'm going to bed now.
Did anyone get the feeling that there were already couples forming? That's not really fair, is it?
No,
I
but
wanted
you're
to
gonna
sneak
end up
off with
with
someone
me.
too.
To sneak off with me, Dorothea!
I was hoping for some tea after our meal anyway. Would you care to join me?
Thanks, but no thanks, Mr. Noble. I already have my heart set on someone else.
Wow, okay.
Until today, I thought it would fall to me to command and guide our ranks all by myself.
Oh?
But with you leading us, I've gotten to experience what it's like to fight alongside everyone.
Oh.
And I've realized how happy it makes me, fighting under your command.
Really?
The Emperor doesn't take orders from anyone. It's their duty to stand alone and lead the entire Empire.
Wow.
But maybe it's better to have someone to rely on, so that you can support and guide each other through the darkness.
Interesting. Am I that someone? I'm unfit to guide an emperor. No, we're asking if you're that someone.
I may be heir to the Imperial throne, but first and foremost, I'm your grateful student.
Thank you.
That will never change, even when I fulfill my destiny and become the Emperor. I told you long ago that I wish to enlist you in the service of the Empire. Well, I take it back. Now I wish only for your continued guidance during my eventual reign.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Don't just hide away in the corner, Professor. You're the reason we're celebrating.
Oh?
It's because of you that I've had the courage to leave my room for a bit each day. I'm so grateful, Professor!
We were all just discussing how well you led us. Remarkable!
Your guidance is without parallel, Professor. I have had practicing of that phrase.
Your training's been top-notch. Really?
Whatever would we do without you?
I have had the opportunity to experience much. Please allow me to offer you my gratitude once more, Professor.
I feel the same. You are something special, my teacher.
Okay.
I can only call your deeds during the Battle of the Eagle and Lion quite versatile.
Comparing against their performance at the mock battle of the Great Tree Moon, the students have grown significantly.
I'm glad.
It is clear that this is a result of your guidance.
I'm glad.
In appreciation of your efforts and to show our high hopes for the future of your students, I award you with this. Please continue to instruct your students as a model teacher.
Of course.
So, you've made good use of all my power after all. I would have been upset if you had failed at such an easy task.
Good to know.
It pains me to assign such a disturbing mission to you during such a blessed moment in time. However, next month your assignment will be to journey to Remire Village to investigate an abnormal occurrence there.
Remire Village. If I recall, you've been there with your father many times.
Yes, we have. An abnormal occurrence?
I have yet to ascertain the details, but it would seem the villagers have been acting strangely. I have already dispatched the knights to verify the authenticity of this information. They should be back shortly. I suggest you begin by finding out what they have discovered.
I pray this is not a bad omen.
It might be.
May the goddess protect you all.
It might very well be a bad omen. Blessed Lance. Cool. I think the only person that might be able to use it is Lorenz.
Part 1. White Clouds. Red Wolf Moon. The Flame in the Darkness. Hoarfrost now graces treetops and open fields alike, and an icy chill blown in from the north of Fargus blankets the land. All of Fodlan's creatures begin to settle in for a long winter. The setting sun bathes the full winter coat of every wolf in a foreboding scarlet glow. Hunters can now spread the word that the Red Wolves are back on the prowl.
I'm sorry that I got disconnected there. My bad. That was not the plan. Right, tea time. Nice. Oh?
That's what we're dealing with. Is there no chance it's an infectious disease?
There are no absolutes in medicine, but the chances are extremely slim.
Oh?
Restless movements, fits of violence, becoming bedridden, or even impossible to wake.
Oh?
With symptoms that varied, there are only a few possibilities.
Tell me
It's either a mixture of poisons or magic, and dark magic at that.
Great.
You're talking about Remire Village, aren't you, Manuela?
Oh my, if it isn't Gerald. Tell me, what was the first thing you heard?
Everything, after you mentioned that it's not likely an infectious disease.
Oh,
My child and I owe the people of Remire Village.
Yes, my child. I can't even say daughter. I just have to say child.
If something's happening there, we must help them.
Not wrong.
We scouted the area ourselves. Speak with the knights, hear what they have to say. I must go. Thank you for your help, Manuela.
You know, I'm more than willing to go with you to Remire Village. After all,
wow,
I owe you my life.
Thank you.
If you'd like, I bet we could even manage the mission all by ourselves. Just the two of us.
Aw, that's nice of you.
Professor! A bit of a tease, are we? A girl could get used to this side of you.
I'm sure.
Nice try,
they could.
but I'll be going to the village as well. Enough nonsense. It's time to move out.
As you like. Goodbye, Gerald. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye.
I'll be in my office making preparations. What about you? If you have the time, it would be helpful if you
Okay.
could go ahead and talk to the knights.
Will do. Huh?
Hey,
Oh no!
what's wrong?
Raven collapsed. I'm okay. I just got a little dizzy.
If anything feels off, return to the infirmary. No need to just grin and bear it.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Ugh, what could have caused such dizziness? I felt it too.
I have no idea.
Actually, I felt that way before.
Did you now? Did you hear? Did you hear? Oh. Oh, we're instructing! Who's motivated? Edelgard is? Right. Let's get you out your axe up.
I still have much to learn.
Cool.
I'm improving, thanks to you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who's okay? Mercedes is. How do you get your faith up?
Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without you.
Aww.
I'm sure I'll get it again next time.
Aww. Another perfect?
Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without you. Now I feel like I'm getting somewhere.
Another
Thank
perfect.
you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without you.
I'm capturing that. Is there anything more? I'm not instructing you. Blaine, I'm not gonna use you. I'm sorry. I'm not. Nice.
You make this stuff seem easy.
Nice.
Brings back memories.
Nice. Okay, Constance. Let's work on your reason.
My efforts bear fruit at last.
Because I want to get bolting for you. Alright.
My efforts bear fruit at last.
Nice. Okay, that's it. Then I guess Lorenz. Right, so you want horse. Nice.
This was hardly a challenge for me.
Praise.
It was only a trifle.
Amazing.
This was hardly a challenge for me.
Okay, let's get you being that.
Now I see the heart of it.
Then let's work on your lands. Nice.
I've come to understand a great deal.
Marianne, I guess. There we go. Better in writing. And you. Well, now you're B+.
Let's do this again.
Nice.
I'm finding my focus.
Cool. Alright, group tasks. Yeah. No, I want stable. Beauty. And Shamir. Execute. Begin lecture.
I've got a question.
Okay. Classrooms are noisy. All that chatter gives me a headache for a while. I can't stand it. Lectures are optional, you know. You could ask people to keep it down.
I think I follow.
Okay. I honestly don't know what the correct response should have been. Wow.
Professor.
Focus. Okay, here's a tough one. we focus on reason and flying? Or do we focus on reason and flying? I guess yes? At least you didn't ask me to do well in this. Sure, Shamir.
Hey, Professor.
Oh, it's a C support, isn't it?
The students seem to like you.
It would seem that way.
And you're not modest about it. I like that.
What would
Still,
you say if
I
you
can't deny that you've got
wasn't-
skills. It's a little strange, to be completely honest.
That
I have
they
my
got
doubts,
taken
but
on a
they were
professor?
right to make you a professor.
Yep. I'm surprised too. I'm still not sure. I knew I could do it. Yeah, we're just gonna go with I was surprised.
I'd be suspicious of their true intentions, if I were you. But what's it matter?
Okay.
Seems like it turned out just fine for you.
Oh.
I'll admit, it's unbelievable that you used to be a mercenary. I was a merc before coming here, but I can't imagine pulling off your fancy tactician act.
Well, all mercenaries are apparently different.
I freeze up near royals and nobles.
Oh. You're a mercenary? You're not a fan of nobles. I already knew this from Catherine.
You deal with a lot of nobles when you're a merc.
Merc.
I didn't
Look
mind
how she
putting my
says
life on the
merc.
line, but I never liked having to bow and scrape to our noble employers.
Ah.
That's what I like about being a knight. I get to punch all the nobles I want.
Yeah! Punching nobles!
I'm joking.
Oh.
But the knights do make a good business partner.
Business partner?
I don't believe in the Church of Saros. It makes me a bit of an anomaly among the knights. Rhea took me in, so I became a knight to repay my debt to her.
Good to know.
I may be a knight, but it still feels like I'm doing the same things I did as a merc.
I can see that.
Who knows, though? Maybe you and I will end up working together. Us knights
I
are a
hope
pretty
so.
tough crew. I'm guessing you'd run circles around us, though. I'm interested to
Fine.
see where your path leads you.
So am I. Which is why you're on the team. Nice! Her motivation is 100. Ooh?
You look unwell. It's because
Hello,
of what
Hubert.
happened, isn't it?
Don't speak of it aloud.
Oh?
You can't change the past. For now, all we can do
She's
is
not
use it to our
wrong.
advantage.
I know that. I also know that I must steel myself to ascend the Imperial throne.
Already you're talking about ascending the Imperial throne. Interesting.
Those preparations are going well. Someone is coming.
Oh?
Professor, I heard about our mission for this month.
Yes.
Something terrible is happening in Ramire Village. That's where you were when fate sent you our way. This feels preordained.
Interesting, you should say that.
Are the knights making progress with their investigation?
I don't know. They are. Let's say they are.
If what is happening there is by design, there must be someone pulling the strings.
Yes.
There is the Death Knight, of course, and the mysterious mages who were implicated with
Yep.
the Western Church.
There are.
They showed up when Flame was kidnapped as well. And now there is another strange occurrence near the monastery.
Not wrong.
It seems an unknown organization hopes to make the monastery its stage for something.
Do you believe that all these incidents are connected, Professor?
I do. I do not. I'll say I do not. I'm so worried that if I say I do, I'm also worried if I say I do not that I'm gonna say I do. No!
That is the logical conclusion, but I'm not so sure.
Shoot! No. How do you? Hang on. There's. on. How do I get out of there? Because I want to do that decision. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought it was an action. Soft reset, that's what I need. Oh, okay. Hang on. There we go. So, I'm still on new chapter. That's annoying. I apologize, but I don't
Part
want
1.
to...
White Clouds.
We're skipping this. I'm sorry, Gerald, but I already heard this, so... Therefore, we're gonna skip it. Cool. Just gonna... Nice.
That's what we're dealing with. Is there no chance it's an infectious disease?
Do that.
There are no absolutes in medicine, but the chances are extremely slim. Restless movements, fits of violence, becoming bedridden, or even impossible to wake. With symptoms that varied, there are only a few possibilities. It's either a mixture of poisons or magic, and dark magic at that.
You're talking about Remire Village, aren't you, Manuela?
Oh my, if it isn't Gerald. Tell me, what was the first thing you heard?
Everything, after you mentioned that it's not likely an infectious disease. My child and I owe the people of Remire Village. If something's happening there, we must help them.
We scouted the area ourselves. Speak with the knights, hear what they have to say. I must go. Thank you for your help, Manuela.
You know, I'm more than willing to go with you to Remire Village. After all, I owe you my life. If you'd like, I bet we could even manage the mission all by ourselves. Just the two of us.
Right, okay, I have to choose. That's nice of you.
Professor! A bit of a tease, are we? A girl could get used to this side of you.
Nice try, but I'll be going to the village as well. Enough nonsense. It's time to move out.
As you like. Goodbye, Gerald. Goodbye, Professor.
Bye again.
I'll be in my office making preparations. What about you? If you have the time, it would be helpful if you could go ahead and talk to the knights.
Oh?
Hey, what's wrong?
I just got a little dizzy.
If anything feels off, return to the infirmary. No need to just grin and bear it. Got it?
Okay.
Ugh, what could have caused such dizziness? I felt it too. Actually, I felt that way before.
Right, instruct. I'm sending on the group task. Great, now we're going to do...
I'm improving.
Great. Rosetta's right. We're just gonna... We did all faith. Good. Now then, let's work on your...
I could do as much in my sleep.
Great.
You see? Flawless.
Nice.
I shall accept as much praise as you're willing to offer.
Nice. Nice.
You see? Flawless.
Oh, I messed up. Rosetta didn't get all of her 4 perfects again. That's kind of annoying. Oh well. It's fine. Why? Shoot. Oh well.
Brings back memories.
Messed up. It's fine. I'm not going back again. Right. We did writing for you.
This was hardly a challenge for me.
That was weird.
It was only a trifle.
I just heard something really weird. I don't know what it was. Nice. There we go.
That was adequate.
Nice.
I'm beginning to understand.
Good. Now then, Shamir. There we go.
You're a good professor.
Nice.
Technique never betrays.
Nice. Okay, Marianne. Let's see if we can get your writing up. There we go. We're good. Begin lecture.
I have a question.
Oh. You know how sometimes an aura girl can be more popular than exceptional beauty, or how if the aristocrats some before if this count when they have a duke instead? Why do you think it is? It's hard to talk to someone you think is better than you. Everyone has their own preferences. Fancy meals are boring if you eat them every day.
Impressive. You know, you're a really good teacher.
Nice.
Professor?
Focus on... No. We're sticking with sword and reason. Yes, go ahead, Shamir.
Hey, Professor.
Yeah?
The students seem to like you.
Right. It would seem... What does she say if I say not that much?
It doesn't make sense. You don't come across as particularly friendly. Still, I can't deny that you've got skills. It's a little strange, to be completely honest.
Okay.
I had my doubts, but they were right to make you a professor.
Cool. I was surprised too. I'm still not sure. Wonder what that says.
Regardless, seems like it turned out fine for you.
Okay.
I'll admit, it's unbelievable that you used to be a mercenary. I was a merc before coming here, but
okay.
I can't imagine pulling off your fancy
so
tactician
the fact I'm
act.
surprised is the only is when she will say, watch
I
out.
freeze up near royals and nobles.
Okay. You are a mercenary, not a fan of nobles?
You deal with a lot of nobles when you're a merc. I didn't mind putting my life on the line, but I never liked having to bow and scrape to our noble employers.
Okay.
That's what I like about being a knight. I get to punch all the nobles I want.
Nice.
I'm joking.
Seriously?
But the knights do make a good business partner.
There we go. Already had to do something, chat. Okay.
I don't believe in the Church of Saros. It makes me a bit of an anomaly among the knights. Rhea took me in, so I became a knight to repay my debt to her.
I mean, in this case, Raven doesn't believe in the church.
I may be a knight, but it still feels like I'm doing the same things I did as a merc. Who knows, though? Maybe you and I will end up working together.
I hope so.
Us knights are a pretty tough crew. I'm guessing you'd run circles around us, though.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where your path leads you.
So am I. Nice. She's still motivated. It's good. Nice. Okay. Now.
You look unwell. It's because of what happened, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't speak of it aloud.
You can't change the past. For now, all we can do is use it to our advantage.
I know that. I also know that I must steel myself to ascend the Imperial throne.
Those preparations are going well. Someone is coming.
Okay. It definitely sounds like they're planning
Professor,
not do it the
I
normal
heard about
way.
our mission for this month. Something terrible is happening in Ramire Village. That's where you were when fate sent you our way. This feels preordained.
Are the knights making progress with their investigation?
They are?
If what is happening there is by design, there must be someone pulling the strings. There is the Death Knight, of course, and the mysterious mages who were implicated with the Western Church.
Are you gonna tell me who those are, or who you think they are?
They showed up when Flame was kidnapped as well. And now there is another strange occurrence near the monastery.
Oh.
It seems an unknown organization hopes to make the monastery its stage for something.
Do you believe that all these incidents are connected, Professor?
I do not.
Oh, I'm surprised to hear you say that. But actually, I agree. It certainly appears that all of the events surrounding the monastery are connected by a single thread. However, I think it's possible that it may just be a result of different motives overlapping.
It could be that.
Remember, Professor.
I will remember.
If you think of people as simply enemies or allies, it may be impossible to grasp the truth.
It may indeed. Oh? Hubert is doing. Go for a visit. Sure!
It seems I am discovered. I suppose that means assassination is out of the question. At least for now.
Alright. What do you think you're doing? Assassination? Nah, let's just ask him what he's doing.
Merely keeping an eye on you, for the moment. Nothing to be concerned over. Unusually watchful. Difficult to steal upon in slumber. Perhaps an odorless, tasteless poison.
Have you... You know... I think you and Claude might get along if you weren't so devoted to Edelgard. Just saying.
Lady Edelgard certainly took interest in a difficult one this time.
Oh. Why are you following me?
I suppose that question does warrant a response, considering it may mean your life. The answer requires me to explain some of the complex internal politics of the Empire.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Volkard von Arundel? He is Lady Edelgard's uncle. You may also know him as Lord Arundel, the Empire's regent. Many years ago, he took Her Majesty and fled to the Kingdom of Fargus.
Oh?
Then after a time, he returned to seize power. Joining forces with Prime Minister Ire and my father, Lord Arundel rendered Emperor Ionius IX politically impotent. Lady Edelgard is Ionius IX's daughter. I cannot begin to fathom the depth of her sadness at his betrayal. I see something of Lord Arundel in you.
Oh?
When I look at you, I feel I can almost see a second self lurking beneath the surface.
Actually, it is a second self. Actually, no, it's not a second self. It's an entirely different being named Sophus.
It is as if you are in constant dialogue with something inside your heart. Something with desires very different from your own. Does that description feel familiar to you at all? Because to me, you seem unpredictable. As though you could turn traitor at any moment.
Oh. No, not familiar. Not at all. There might be something to that.
The more I learn about you, the less I like. I had thought you might be of use to Lady Edelgard. But now I am beginning to think you may, through no fault of your own, present too great a risk. I hope you will prove me wrong, Professor.
But he managed to make Lorenz, who also doesn't have, who has very little eyebrows, not look evil, and yet they managed to make Hubert look evil with what they did with their eyes, at least in brows, is very similar.
I would hate for this to come to bloodshed.
You and me both. Cool. Whose birthday is it? It's Linhart's birthday! Lynn! Let's have tea! Great tea guide. Linhart? Right. Sorry, the guide just... I should really just open up the guide. There we go. I just had to click to that and I would jump to it. So he likes Angelica tea or Almiran pine needles. Okay. We have 3 Almiran pine needles. We have 7 Angelica tea.
I am happy that you invited me, even though it interferes with my nap time. This tea is my favorite scent. So relaxing as to be downright sleep-inducing.
Great.
Much appreciated.
Cool. Now then.
Smells good.
Okay. Monster mysteries.
I see.
The conversation got lively.
Agreed.
Food and giant home plans for the future. The last battle. Would it be plans for the future then? Yes, plan for the future.
I see.
Nice. Remain lively. Library's collection. If that's not it, I'm done.
Crest versus nurture. Which causes a noble's personality disorder? There's a research project, eh?
So just chat. Okay. Cool. Perfect tea time. Observe.
This hairband? Someone gave it to me, I think. Yet if that's the case, I've forgotten who.
Oh?
What's wrong? You look sleepy. Are you sleepy by any chance? Well, I am.
Oh, Linhart. Right. Okay, what do you like? A fish and fruit, tasty bacon treat, elf bar, and book of crest designs. Well, I have an owl feather.
Well,
So you
this
can
is
have this.
simply delightful. Agreed.